Is it transported by the technical team or our functional team itself? We have to do migration for this.
No, it is directly done using these programs that we are going to see today.
Oh,
It is automatic. You don't need to do it manually either by the technical or the functional. You do need to do it manually. There is a list of programs that you need to run, which will make sure
even
all this data is transferred
for
to the new
transaction
system.
and master data also.
Yes, see, master data is already in the system. So once you are migrating to the new system, the master data is already available in the system. But the problem is with the transaction data. Why? Because the tables of the transactions have been changed now.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is the reason why we need to transfer this transactional data from, let's say, BSEG or maybe BSIS, BSIK to ACDOK. So that is the reason why we need to transfer the transaction data. But master data, apart from cost element, because cost element is the table of cost element has changed and it has been merged with GL account. Apart from this, there is no technical step for any other master data.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Gaurav.
Yes, Harish. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So last time, in our last session, sorry for yesterday. Actually, there was some problem. My wife was not feeling well, so I need to take her to the hospital, and that's the reason why I was not able to conduct this session yesterday. But in our last session, we started off with the migration process, and we have already seen the steps which are required in the customizing of general ledger accounting, controlling, and asset accounting in terms of migration from the old system. And I think we have already completed this particular folder, which includes the preparation and migration activity for customizing of general ledger, asset accounting, and controlling. And then we were about to start this, but then we stopped. So this is the folder which is left in terms of migration, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So before this, whatever we have done was we have made sure that first of all the transactions or maybe the balances or maybe the reconciliation has been done in the old system. The transactions and all the data which is available in the old system is complete and correct. These are something which is offline, so you need to check in your old system. And then once you are ready, you have taken the snapshots of all your reports so that you can compare the snapshots with the reports that will be generated after migration. And then once everything is done, you will start with the preparation and the configuration activity in which you configure the system according to the new requirements. And now once the system is ready with the new configurations, you are ready to migrate your data also. So this is the folder which will talk about migration of data. Till now there was the whatever we have done, it was related to the customizing settings. There was no data migration involved in our last steps at all. But now whatever will be migration we are talking about, this is a data migration. So first activity, if you can see, is partitioning of universal journal entry line item table. What does this mean is, this is a technical activity which means that, as I told you, I think we in our earlier sessions we discussed about data aging functionality in SAP, in which you can store your data in cold and hot areas, which means that the data which is required very frequently, you can store it into the hot area, and the data which is not very commonly used, you can move it to cold storage, which means that you can improve the speed of the database. Similar to that, SAP is suggesting that if the line items in your universal journal entry table are subsequently large, in that case, it is always recommended that you do the data aging or partition your table according to the hot and cold areas. And when it is uh, suggested, it is only suggested when there is some amount of data has been reached. So for example, let me show you, yes, here. So partition AC docket only if you expect more than 500 million records. Okay, this is suggestion. If the data is more than 500 million records, it is suggested to partition your AC docket table. But how will you realize whether my AC docket will be having more than 5 million records or not? And that is why we need to do the test conversion, in which you will able to know, okay, I had done the migration now in the test database with my productive data, and you came to know, okay, this much number of line items are available in AC doc A. So if you think that in the near future your AC doc A is going to be more than the line items is going to be more than 500 million records, it is suggested to partition the database for the table AC doc A. Also, this is suggestion, but this is must. You must partition the table if you expect to reach 2 billion records. Now, what exactly will happen if you don't do this? That is not provided anywhere, but when SAP is saying it is must, I am sure that there must be some error or something that you will get once the records in this table will exceed this amount. So it is always suggested or it is always recommended to take the control on this, or just check what is the line items, what is the number of records available in AC doc A, and if you think yes it is going to be beyond these two criteria, then it is always recommended to go for partitioning. Okay, and this is what SAP recommends, that 300 to 500 records as a partition size. So if you are sure, yes, okay, based on the data I need to partition, then you can ask your technical guy to, like the guy who is responsible for data aging, you can ask him to make sure that this data has been partitioned and it has been moved to the uh, hot or sorry cold storage. But this
Basically,
is,
this partition done by
sorry Harish.
basically these partitions are done by
Mm-hmm.
whom? It is functional consultant we can do it, or it is technical
See,
person or basis person who will be doing.
yes, see, up till now, this partition was not available. Up till now, everything was related to the data archiving, right? So this
Yeah.
question, whether who will perform the data aging functionality, this is completely new, and that is the reason I think in our current company, in my company at least, this has been handled by the technical person. But it all depends, because this is a new thing. Maybe
Technical in the sense ABAP or a basis.
basis.
Who is this?
Yes, because it is related to the table level archiving. So I don't think ABAP, maybe ABAP also can be involved, but I think the basis is the right person who can do this activity, because archiving part also I think basis was doing, right? Archiving
Yes.
of data from, yes. So basically this
Yes.
is the substitution to archiving, and so it has to be handled by the basis team, or maybe uh, if the, I don't know what is the like what is going to be, for example, if this is new thing and this can be done by the functional consultant directly, then it can be handled by the functional consultant also.
But Guru, how we can know that the record has been reached 500 million or 580 million above?
It is
So how we
it is
can?
number of line items in AC docket table.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So as I told you that in the beginning, see why this activity is told in the beginning. The reason is, before transferring the data to your production database, you should make sure that, okay, the number of items are going to be this much, so whether I should go for partitioning or not. And how will you realize? In the test environment it will be difficult, because you are doing this activity for the first time. So in the test environment, at least you will be able to know, okay, this much number of items are available in test environment, which is the productive copy, so I should partition or not. You got the point?
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah, Gaurav, sorry, but
Yes, please.
how we need to means the, for example, is more than 500 millions is there records. So how
Mhm.
we need to transfer partition means one partition some records and another partition is some record, right? So how
Yes, it will
means
be. Yes. It will be done by the system automatically based on the. Okay, let me come to that. There is one screen where you need to do. Just
the
let me check.
mapping we need to map right
Yes,
this
you can
records
specify. You can
yeah
specify like which items should be removed to the cold partition and which should be at the
yeah
hot.
yeah.
And that is actually in the tools, I think. Let me see. Yes, data aging for accounting documents. So define life for account types and define life for account. Yes. So see, here it is maintained. So for example, you can say, okay, for this company code, for this type of GL accounts, I want to move uh, the the line items which are older than 90 days to my cold partition. So this is a
So we
setting
need
where you maintain which documents should be moved to the cold partition.
means here the account life means what the days or what the
Yes, it is
figure.
days, 90 days.
Okay.
Just let me,
Suppose,
yes, account life in days.
yeah. Suppose if it is days above 90 days means it is cold storage, is it?
Yes. So after 90 days, all the documents will
Mm-hmm.
be moved to the cold storage. It depends on you. Normally it should not be 90 days. Yeah? Normally it
Mm-hmm.
should be at least 1 year,
Yes,
because the
sir.
current year records you
Yeah.
want. So this all depends upon the settings what you are maintaining. But 90 days is actually too small.
Yeah, but here we need to maintain the days, right? Instead of
Yes.
years, should be the days.
Yes, you have to maintain the days here. So it can be based on your account types also. Like this is GL accounts, then you can
Yeah.
decide for my vendor items it should be more than 180 days or whatever. So you can decide on that also. And other option is you can do it at the document type level also. So here define life for document types. So if you are keeping it blank, this means it is applicable to all.
Means this is only one time setting, right? After 20 days, it will go automatically. It will move to the means the cold
No,
storage.
I think there is some program which we need to run. Okay, I'll show you that also. So
Yep.
this is like here you have the option whether you want to specify in the days and you want to, or you want to specify the years.
Okay, this only data migration purpose, right? It's not automatically system. Okay, once we migration, everything is done. Okay, after maybe after 90 days, system automatically the means the current data it will move to the cold storage, or only
Yes,
the purpose.
it will move to the cold storage, and I think there is some program you can go through here.
Means every after every 90 days, it will move the automatically system data. It will move to the cold storage, right?
Yes, that is exactly I think, but okay, let me check. You can move documents that you no longer require in the online system to the cold. In the following, you can specify the minimum number of days for which an accounting document needs to be viewed. You can specify different settings, but is it automatic or is there any program that we need to run? I need to check that. I think it is automatic because there is no any program which is provided here which will be executed so that the documents will be moved from the hot to the cold area. So I think it is automatic. So based on these settings, whatever settings you are making it here, it should be moved automatically.
So, for example, my accounting life is 365 days. So after 1 year, right, automatically in the all the current data it will move to the cold area, right?
Yes,
Not
exactly.
okay.
Yes.
So this is automatically the like the batch job. After reach the days
Yes.
minimum, then it will move to the
Yes.
cold storage. Okay.
Right. But again, you need to read this carefully because, okay, I think there is some confusion here. Last time also. So in the customizing setting, yeah, see the example. I think you will get it, the idea. You have defined the account life of 60 days for account type A. The following FI documents are posted in the account that has account type A assigned. So posting B is posting date 15th of March,
Hmm.
and document C is having the posting date of 15th of January. If you schedule a data aging run on 1st of April, only document C, okay, this is clear. So only document C because you are running on this and already 60 days are over for
60
this
days.
document.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So this is,
Actually, yeah, here it is clearly mentioned that data aging run. That means there should be some program to run.
where you got it?
Actually, if you schedule data
Last
aging run,
line item
yeah,
Okay,
below
during
from the
data
below
aging, the
last
system uses specified lies.
from the below last line item.
Below which one?
The
See
last
the
line item. If you
last you can
schedule
see
a
the
data aging run on
data
post, the document will be included in it.
means we need
No,
to
I
schedule,
think
right?
see, this is the background job. So you need to schedule this background job on the day-to-day basis, or it can be on the uh, whatever, like weekly, monthly,
Oh,
whatever you want to schedule. But it
so
is
what is
automatic. You
the
don't need to run it every time.
yeah, but what is the badge or
How
something, the
can we
program
set that
is one?
Yes,
then
program we need to find out. There must be some program. Yes, you're right. There must be some program which we can
Some
actually schedule based on our requirements.
like,
Okay, let me check this program, which program this is, because as I told you, normally in my both the projects, it has been handled by the technical guy, so I was not involved in this activity. So not an issue. I'll let you know.
sure, okay, thank you.
Yes.
and
Okay,
also please
then.
let me know in previous project what is the data aging year it was mentioned, 1 year or 2 years or 5 years,
Okay.
something like that.
Yes, definitely. But it depends upon the client's requirement, right?
Yeah, I understand, but normally 2 years or 5 years, normally 2 years
Mm-hmm.
because 2 years comparison will do, right?
Right. And I just wanted to show you there is, when we talk about year, there is some confusion. So let me explain that also. Because year it is not like today minus 730 days. It is not like that. It is years. So yes, I don't think there is any confusion, but it is like this. So currently, if I am in 2016, and okay, I think it will be better if you just see this example. Yes. So for document type A, you have defined a document life of 1 day as well as document life of 2 years. If you schedule a data aging run, all FI documents that have this document type assigned and that are posted before will be included in this run. Why? Because this is on. Yes, so you got this point. So this was run was on 2012,
Yeah,
1st of April.
2000.
Okay. So when I'm
Yeah,
saying
first,
Yes, so when I'm saying the life is 2 years, this means the current year and the last year.
Means here, right, Gaurav, how we the system is verifying based on our fiscal year or January to means December, or
Yes, it is.
how?
No, it depends upon the fiscal year variant that you assign to your company code.
Oh, based on the fiscal year variant only.
Yes, definitely. It is based on the fiscal year. Okay, so simple finance migration. Yes, the next uh, task that you have to do is this. This is mandatory. This you need to run here itself. Regenerate CDS views and field mapping. This means,
So,
see,
sorry, so the partition part is not activated so far from the SAP side, correct? Correct.
activated means.
Means that we or technical guy cannot uh, part in a, we cannot you know partitioning the file. What I'm saying that
Yes,
we cannot we can do,
we
but
can do. Let me check if there. Yes, we can do. Just a minute. Let me see if the program is mentioned here.
okay.
It is already available.
Okay. Then what is the program name?
Yes, that is exactly what I am looking for here. Is it giving or not? It is given here. Mm, No, I think program here is it is also not provided. But there must be some program as we discussed. So let me check which program is this and how. Uh, do you remember in my PPT have I shared some program like this program will be used for data hygiene or not?
We are not sure.
No, not sure that's one.
Okay. Okay, let me check. There is a technical, there is one program that you just need to run, which will automatically update the data which is maintained. Based on that, it will move the data to the from hot to cold area. I'll tell you the name of the program. Okay, the next is any questions here again, or we can go to the next. Apart from the program name, is there any confusion? Okay, so regenerate CDS views and field mapping. So I think you remember that we discussed earlier that when this installation phase, during the installation phase of SAP Simple Finance add-on, automatically my index and totals tables will be removed, and there will be views created, which will whenever I'll ask any question or any query on this views, it will directly redirect my control to the AC docket, and it will fetch the data directly from there. But this is like when you do this for the first time, when you install the SAP Simple Finance add-on, this regeneration of CDS views with the fields, these fields are the fields which are provided by the standard SAP. So for example, in the new general ledger accounting, we have the configuration called as we have the option of configuring the customer specific fields, right? So if you want some fields to be included in our tables, for example, if you want to include let's say any field into our new GL characteristics, and due to that reason we normally include these fields also in some of the tables like BSEG, FAGL, Flexa. So these tables, when we install the Simple Finance add-on, these fields are not copied. Okay. So if you have defined some custom specific fields, that has to be migrated separately using this program, regenerate CDS views and field mapping. This is only used uh, when you have already defined some customer specific fields. Even if you are not defined, running the program is not going to harm you. So it is always suggested to run this program in the sequence. Anybody of you can you give me the example, like you have created a customer specific field which is being used in the new GL accounting? Okay, let me give me the example. In my one of the client, there was a need that apart from normal characteristics which are available in like profit center, cost center, segment, apart from this, let's say there is a requirement of two new fields. For in our case, it was sub account. Within GL account, they wanted to have something called a sub account, and there was, because it is a financial company, they were having the requirement of one field called as insurance type. Because these fields are not available in the standard system, what we need to do is we need to create these two fields as the customer specific fields, and we need to activate document splitting at this level also, because you know that the one of the functionality within SAP New Ledger Accounting, New General Ledger Accounting, is that you can create the financial statements at any characteristics. You can define your own characteristics also. So we have created these two characteristics, and we have added these two characteristics into all different tables. Now when I want to generate a report, I can generate the report based on all these two characteristics. Even the profit and loss balance sheet I can generate at this level. So if you have these settings maintained in your current landscape, or if you have already created some customer specific fields into your new GL accounting, then this program, what it will do is it will also create these two fields into your new structure also, and it will do the field mapping also. So whenever you do any select statement or whatever transactions, you will not realize that the system is transferring the control to AC.K. You will be able to see what you were able to see till now. You got this point, or you want me to explain it further? Anybody has worked on the customer specific fields? Any knowledge of customer specific fields otherwise?
Yeah, I think we get the recently, right? We means custom table and some of the fields we are created. Once, for example, once the data bill of exchange, right? Once they posted data, right? Some of the fields, right, need to hit the custom table. So we did this kind of scenario.
No, but have you configured the document splitting for this newly defined table and fields?
No, no,
No, in that case, that is different. Custom
different.
table, when you're saying that there can be multiple functions of the custom table, but when I'm talking about custom specific fields, okay, let me show you the path where these things are maintained. Then maybe you will be getting the idea. So within financial accounting,
Oh yeah, I know this.
you can just a minute.
Go to open item.
Open item? Where is it? No, open item clearing. First of all, I need to define. I think it is here. Fields, ledger, fields, customer fields. So these are the
Oh,
standard fields, okay, which are provided by SAP, and these are the customer fields. So if you want to, yes, it is called as a coding block. So current coding block, for example, is this. So these are current fields which are available in SAP. So apart from this, if you want to have some customer defined account assignments, you can create it here. I don't know what is this, but you can create your customer specific fields here if you want to uh, do the document splitting, or maybe you want to generate the profit and loss and balance sheet at some bifurcated level. You can create your customer fields, and this program is applicable when you have already defined some customer fields and you want to migrate this customer fields also to the new structure. Let me see if some example is given. See, you use this customizing activity to do the following: regenerate the compatibility and data migration view so as to adapt them configuration for the customer specific entities. So whatever fields you have defined in general ledger, controlling, material ledger, cash management, asset accounting, that fields will be considered in your regeneration. So what it will normally do is generate the redirection. So for example, if you have created a select statement for a particular table, but now it has been converted as a view, but it was when it was converted as a view, it was only containing the fields which are available in the standard table. But if you have some fields which you have added separately using the customer specific fields, that has to be copied also, right, in the new structure. Otherwise, you cannot do the reporting on that fields. So that is the reason why this program has to run, so that the view can be updated automatically. The view should contain all these fields which are defined separately using the customer specific. Okay. So to execute this activity, you must have the authorization to activate. Yes, there must be some authorization. But I think if you are having this activity, you are already provided with all the authorizations. Any question here? I know if the person has not worked on customer specific fields, this may be like something new. But again, this is not mandatory because this is in the sequence. It is always recommended to run this activity. So if there are any customer specific field, then it is mandatory. But if it is not the case, you can skip this entry also. Okay, then I think all are now very easy. So migration of cost elements and customizing. This means that as Bhumi was asking that what about my master data? How my master data will be migrated? So as I told you, the master data is already available in the system and the tables are also not changed. For example, the GL master data, my customer, vendor, all this master data is not going to change. They are going to be as used as earlier. But there is a change for the cost element master data because now cost element has been merged with my GL. That is the reason why I need to migrate all my cost elements from controlling to FS00 or maybe SKB1 or something. So how will I do this? So this is the activity which you need to check whether the GL accounts and cost elements are consistent with each other or not. When I'm saying consistent means, for example, I have a primary GL account for which the cost element is still not created. Okay, what will happen when the cost element will be created and the GL account doesn't have any primary cost element assigned to it? What the system will assume? Anybody from you?
Yeah, then account type, it is non-operating something.
Exactly. So if I'm not providing the cost element, what it will do is it will assume that because the cost element is not required for this GL account, it will assume that it has to be created as a non-operating, right? Similarly, if the cost element is existing and there is no GL account against that, there is already a primary cost element created, but the GL account has been deleted or removed, whatever it is. So in that case, what the system will assume? I mean, the cost element is created, but there is no GL account.
No, maybe
Secondary
the
cost element.
secondary cost
Yes.
element, right?
Yes. So system will create secondary cost element for this type of cost element. So that is the reason why you always need to check this activity, which will tell you for which GL accounts, for example, the GL account is created, but the cost element is not there, or maybe the cost element is already created, but the GL account is not there. So it will give you the list of all that GL accounts or cost elements which are inconsistent with each other. Okay, so when you get all these errors, you need to resolve. Maybe, for example, if the system is saying there is a cost element but GL account doesn't exist, so you need to create a GL account. Or maybe the system is saying the GL account is created but the cost element is not created, you need to create a cost element. Okay, and once this is done, then only you go for the another activity called as migrate secondary cost element. Because if you skip this activity, as I told you, the system will assume that it is either the non-operating expense or revenue account, or maybe it is the secondary cost element. This is exactly, if you just go through this documentation, you'll find. So in this customizing activity, you check whether the GL account and cost elements are consistent with each other. And inconsistency could be, for example, that no GL account exists for a primary cost element. So you need to correct the indicated inconsistencies, otherwise the GL account master record will have the wrong account type after migration. You got this point? Maybe we can just see what exactly it is saying. Primary cost element was migrated as secondary cost. Yes, this type of errors you will get. So this means that this is actually the primary cost element, but because the GL was not existing for this company code, that is the reason it has been migrated, or it will be migrated, because this is the pre-check. So you need to make sure that this GL account is created beforehand before performing the next activity. Clear?
Gaurav,
Yes.
here, right, is there any test run something? How
Yes,
we know the
this is actually the test run. This is checking. It is not going to
oh,
create directly. It will check first. This is the activity which will check.
okay. For example, assume everything is fine, so we need to
Mm-hmm.
migrate something. So is there any means something the test run something? We can
No.
this one, right, this path, right, it will give only the if exists any errors inconsistency, right, it will give the message something, right?
Yes.
So everything is, for example, assume everything is fine, means there is no error here.
Mm-hmm.
So how we know this all data is migrated test run, we can able to
Yes. For each and every activity, you will get the status. See, for example, display status. After each and every activity, you will find the status. So it will tell you which of the items have been migrated and which are having
migrate
the
which one.
errors.
Okay.
Yes. So this was about the primary cost element. Similarly, you need to migrate the secondary cost elements also. So this activity will actually migrate. This will not check. This will actually migrate the secondary cost element. Now, why it is why there is no activity of migrating the primary cost elements here? Any guess, or anybody can answer this? The activity is only migrate secondary cost elements. Why no
But
migrate primary cost elements?
because now there is no primary cost element category, right? No,
It is there.
everything the no, everything is merged under only FS00, right?
Yes,
So
because the primary cost elements also are already available in my
part
uh,
of
yes, they are
F0.
already part of FS00. That is the reason why I don't need to carry out the migration of secondary cost element. But when I run this activity, migrate secondary cost element, system also make sure that the cost element category is assigned to my primary cost elements also. Because as you know, it is already FS00 is already containing my primary cost element, or maybe the GL. But again, I need to move this data from my cost element category from cost element to GL account, right?
Yes, yes.
So that activity will be automatically performed when you run this activity, migrate secondary cost element to chart of account. Okay, I think this will also explain you. Uh, what I need to show you is this is okay. This is okay. I just wanted to show you that for primary cost elements, it is not required. After the merge, both primary cost and represented GL accounts, a new type of general missing GL account master data have been created as the cost elements. Okay, it is not given here, but as I told you that for primary cost element, we don't need to do this activity because they're already created as the GL accounts. So once you perform this activity, what this will do is this will create the cost elements which are available in the system, but for against which there is no GL account maintained, and it will assume that these are the secondary cost elements. So it will go ahead and create the secondary cost element and the chart of account itself, because there is no separate cost element table here. There is only one table which is related to the GL account and cost element merge. Right.
Sorry,
So
Gaurav, do we need to create account group before we migrate these secondary cost elements, or it will automatically it will create an account group?
No, we need to create because it was part of configuration and we have already done the configuration beforehand.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Otherwise, it will throw error that account group doesn't exist.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but we need to mention some of the range, right? This secondary cost elements, the range 1 to something, right? Where we need to mention here. Otherwise, system
No,
how.
it is not required here. It will be created for all. Whatever GL accounts or whatever cost elements which are created in ECC for which there is no GL account assigned, they are considered as a secondary cost elements.
Okay.
So it is not a range. The range was maintained in ECC.
Yeah.
It was not for secondary. I think in ECC also for secondary there was no range. It was only for primary, right?
Actually,
How
even
can
for
I
secondary
maintain?
also, yeah,
Second,
even account group, even for secondary also we keep a range actually.
keep
That's how, yeah, in
9 3
OBD,
something.
But
yeah.
tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. How the secondary cost elements will be created automatically in ECC because primary cost elements takes the value from GL accounts. But for secondary, I don't have any GL accounts. How they pick the values then? Can you just tell me which from where I can see that activity?
Normally, okay, wherever you set a range for account group, right? There itself, even for secondary also, we keep it a range actually.
Okay, you are talking about OBD4 account group ranges.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
what.
yes, 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 yes. That is part of configuration. But I think Jamil,
Yes.
sorry, Vishnu is asking something else. Vishnu is asking
No, same
that when
same question. Same.
same,
My
okay, okay,
same. Yeah. Because we
okay.
maintain the some.
I thought you are
No,
asking about this range, this create cost elements automatically. Here we need to provide the
Yeah.
range, right?
Yeah.
no. Secondary one. I'm also saying.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Gaurav, quick question actually.
Yes.
Suppose for instance, primary cost element, it is there, right? For that GL already it is there. For that, we have different cost element category. It can be 0, 1, 11 or whatever it is. How
Mhm.
automatically it updates?
Uh, no, see, if yes, as you said that already I have the GL
Based on
accounts which are
the
created based on the cost
based on
element
the
which I have
cost center
assigned.
and profit
No,
center.
no cost
If it
center.
is a
No, no, no.
category zero, then you have to put the cost subject expense cost center. If it is
No, no, no,
11,
no.
then you have to put the profit center.
Yes, that is okay. But what Harish is asking is that when I create a cost element from for the primary cost element, when I merge it to FS00, how it will pick the category, right? Right, Harish?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Harish, see, when you maintain the GL account and cost element in ECC, so you create a GL account and then you create a cost element with the category. So
Yeah,
the same
that's correct.
category is
How?
copied to the new one.
Yeah. Yeah, I understood. See, already, so for instance, X GL account, okay, primary cost element, it has been created 01. Okay, if we
Mm-hmm.
are creating new GL account in FS00, automatically we will assign the cost element category. Okay, here, since master data it is already there. Okay, only
Mm-hmm.
thing, since we the cost element category should come in FS00 or whatever it is table it is there. How it assigns? For instance, you explained right. Secondary cost element. If you run automatically, the secondary whatever the secondary cost element is there for that GL not there. Automatically GL will be created for that. Here, what step the assignments automatically will happen?
You mean to say how it is created?
Not how it is created. Since
I
in
mean,
system,
No, I
sorry,
think
in
Harish, I think I answered
Harish
that.
is trying
Okay,
to say
just
when
give me
you
the
migrate.
just a minute. Let me give you the example. I have a cost. I have a GL FS00 for let's say for 3 times 0 GL account, which is travel expenses. Okay.
okay,
Now I have created a cost element for this travel expenses under category 01. Now, when I'm moving this cost element to FS00, at that time, maybe in FS00 itself, but this cost element category will be derived from the cost element which was already maintained in my ECC.
for that, do we need to run anything since it is
No, 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 that is exactly what I'm saying. For primary, it is not needed. There is no separate program for primary cost elements.
So your system, right, backend, everything you will check. For example, GL account 33 something is the primary cost element is the 01 something, the 10 is 11 something. Automatically system will derive automatic backend.
Yes, yes, yes. It will automatically derive from the category which is maintained in the old cost element.
Whole system. Okay.
Yes.
But before we migrate, we can see this one means, for example, this GL account is the primary cost element is the 01, this one is 11 like that.
Yes, that is
We can.
exactly. Yes, yes. Just a minute. Let me show. I think server is hanged. Just a minute. Server is disconnected. So when I've shown you that check the cost elements, it is meant for that only. It will show you the green lines for the cost elements which will be created. For example, yes, here you will get the details. It will tell you, okay, this GL account has been created as a cost element with atom category 1. Okay, and
Yeah,
this will
this one
be,
only the error message. Error we are getting here only error one. So
no, no,
success
no,
one.
it will show you successful results also.
Oh,
Yes. It is not only for errors, it will show you the successful results also. So you will get the idea, okay, all are created correctly or not.
okay.
Harish, you got your answer or?
Yeah, got it. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Server issue here. Okay, this we already talked about, migrate secondary cost element to chart of account. And then this is the log. Okay, first of all, let me show you this. There are two options, complete current run and start new delta run. This means that when you, for example, when you do this for the first time, you should do complete current run. Okay, and maybe after that, if you have if you want to carry out any delta run afterwards. Why delta run? Because let me show you here. So maybe you have created, there was some error here, okay, in this, but you have not rectified this error and you continue with the secondary cost element. And then you realize this has been created incorrectly. Then you can make the changes either at the GL level or maybe at the cost element level, and then you can again do this activity for the delta run. Here, this activity.
So here,
Got
right,
this
we can
point?
run the number of time, right?
Yes, yes, yes. You can do it multiple number of times.
So there is no harm. Means the system won't
No,
create
no, no, no.
the trouble. Means the wrong.
Yes, so you can see this. Mass data processing offers the option to repeat a run for not yet processed data. This delta run features is useful when you import new data into your system after the first mass processing was done. So initial has to be complete and current run, and you need to tick this checkbox, and once this is done, if you are importing some new data, it should be start new delta run. But normally, if you are sure that whatever data is available in the system, that is the only data, you don't need any further data, then I think you just need to take on this complete current run. Okay, and once you activate this, you can have the log, like what is created and what is not under this activity, display status. So this will tell you, okay, this delta run has been created, this is the first run which was created, it is finished. So if it is green, this means it has been completed properly, and if there is some error, it will show you the error here, right? Because this activities, normally when we talk about the migration of data, this may take more than 1 and 2 hours also, because if there is lot of data, for example, cost elements, I don't think there will be much of data, but when we are migrating the line items, there will be the huge data. So like a job, when you run any particular activity in background job and you need to check like whether it is finished or it is under process, you can directly check that status under this one. So it will tell you whether it is processing, finished, or yet not started. Any questions here?
Okay, quick question on
Okay.
table level actually. See,
Yes, sir.
normally SKA1, SKB1, SKAT, these are the three tables we used to access for GL, and also
Mm-hmm.
cost element there should be certain table I think. Now since for simple finance in SKA1 itself all this cost element data also pulled in or how it is?
Yes, SKA1 also and SKB1 also, because this cost element category
Mm-hmm.
will be maintained in I think in the company code data, so it will be SKB1, and the
Yeah.
text like the general data is maintained in SKA1. Similarly, the
Mm-hmm.
text, because see it will be considered same as FS00,
Okay, got it.
so the text will be also maintained in SKAT.
Okay, got it.
Yes. Then the next step is, as I told you that currently, because in my cost element master data, I have the option of defining the default account assignments. For example, I can assign the default cost center to my cost element. But because now this activity has been removed and in FS00, I don't have any option of assigning the default account assignments. That is the reason why I have only one option of defining the default account assignments, and that is OKB9. Okay, so if whatever is maintained currently in your cost element, any cost center, if it is maintained, any default account assignment is maintained in the cost element, that has to be moved automatically to OKB9, right? And this is the activity which will actually transfer these values, these account default account assignments to the OKB9 from cost element master data. So this activity I'm talking about, migrate default account assignments. So in simple finance, the master data of GL accounts and cost elements are merged. Cost elements are now special GL accounts and must be maintained in the same transaction. Okay, this is the field of cost element master data have undergone a review and not all fields have been retained. So in particular, the fields like default account assignments were omitted from the joint master data record. Starting from existing cost element master data, the migration process transfers the default account assignments from master data to the customizing table. This table is OKB9. You can open this table through OKB9. After migration, the default settings are accessible via OKB9. Okay, so this is the activity that you need to carry out to make sure that the default account assignments have now been migrated from the master data to OKB9. I think this is pretty much straightforward, right? Any questions here? And this is the status. Like once this is completed, you can see the status here. Whether it has been completed, you will find this status everywhere.
Gaurav, sorry. Here, right, we can able to split means some data means step 1, step 2 means some of the range 1 to 100 one job and 1 to 200 is one job like that. We can able to migrate in the cost elements
No, no,
or we
no.
can
This is
run
for all. This is for all.
for everything.
Yes, yes. This is for all. It is not allowing you to provide the range.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, the next is adopt authorizations. Why authorizations? Because currently the cost manager is different and the master data maintenance of FS00 is a different person. But now going forward, because everything is merged, so you need to provide the right authorizations to the technical or sorry to the functional users, so that you control how exactly these transactions will be carried out using the same screen FS00. So this is actually the technical step. You need to provide this details to your uh, user maintenance consultant, who will make sure that based on the requirements, like what exactly are the requirements from the business side, he will provide the authorizations of this new or maybe old transaction code to the users who were having the transaction code of uh, what is that, KA01, right? KA01, KA02, KA03. Now it has been merged to FS00. So this is how, this is just the reminder that once you complete this activity, please make sure that you provide the right authorizations to the right persons. Clear?
Means here, right, we, the existing the roles, right, we need to include this object means the authorization object. Because the
Yes,
previous
for
right.
example, yes, for example, you are a person who is looking after the master data of GL accounts, and there is some other person who is actually looking for the master data of cost elements. So
Yes.
currently you don't have the rights of cost element creation, and he doesn't have the rights of GL creation. But
Yes.
now going forward, because everything both are merged, there is no separate transaction for both of this. So we need to make sure the person who was actually maintaining cost elements, he has to be provided with the rights of FS00.
So here the required to change the authorization roles also, roles, profiles.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
provide the it is same, like you need to provide the
Object, an authorization object.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is still till here it was just, again, we have actually not transported any transactional data as yet. We have just completed the customizing activity, and we have transported the master data for cost element. But transaction data we have still not started. So going forward, this whatever are the activities, these are related to the transaction data migration. So before we actually go to the transactional data migration, there are some technical checks, like whether the data available in the system today is correct or complete. So this is analyze transactional data. What it will check is there are okay. You analyze the test system. If all transactional data is complete and correct, the system performs the following checks. Let me come to the point directly. Use this. Yes, it will check whether the data which is available in your current system is complete and correct. Complete and correct means whether it is, for example, whatever is appearing in, let's say, BKPF, or maybe whatever is appearing in BSEG, is it matching with FAGL Flexa, right? Or are there any documents which are parked but they are not posted? So that they have to be taken care with. Either they have to be removed as the parked documents, or they have to be posted. So this type of checks are performed in this activity. It will give you the messages that okay, this particular document is still pending, it is not posted, or it is maybe it is still parked. What you want to do, whether you want to carry on this document as the parked document itself, or you want to post this document first and then you want to move to the new system. So this type of checks are performed here. So if you want, we can just try to execute this program. Let's see if any error is coming. So what it is saying is it is complete. This means that the data which is available in the system is correct. If there are some errors, it will show you red. So you need to identify what errors are there, and you need to rectify that errors before moving to the migration. Okay, why it is saying it is complete?
So
Because this for
you are saying
just
that
a,
if the document is parked, so it means that it cannot be posted. Parked
no, it is
document
not
cannot
like
post.
if the document is parked, it has to come as a parked document in the system, right?
Yes.
So it will give you the messages. It will not restrict you that you cannot go ahead with the park document, but it will at least give you the idea. Okay, this much number of messages, because you need to it will just ask you to confirm whether this is correct, or you just want to post this first and then you want to migrate. Okay, and this will give you the display status. So this will again tell you whether this activity has been finished, or this is under process, or this has been first at the first place this has been performed or not. Okay, the next step is also going to be same, reconcile, but reconcile is at the higher level. Reconcile means it will check all the reconciliation. For example, whether my uh, asset balance is matching with my GL balance or not, whether my material ledger balance is matching with my GL balance or not, whether my COPA balance is matching with my GL balance or not. All this reconciliation will be done in this activity, and it will again give you messages. It will not restrict you. You can go ahead, but at least this will tell you
that this information is not complete or this is not reconciled. So please consider it. If you want to correct this beforehand, you can do it. Otherwise, there will be mismatches also in the new system. Right. So whatever mismatches will be there in the system, this will give you the messages. So I think there was one example which was given in this reconciliation activity is that just a minute, I'll directly go there. See, like this, every document has the balance 0 based on the new GL line items. So this is given for each and every sub-module. Let's say in AP and AR. So whatever is appearing in one table, is it matching with my second table or not? So if some document is appearing in CO, whether it is appearing in FI or not, or is there any mismatch between CO and FI? Is there any mismatch between AP or, for example, material ledger, COPA? So this document will actually tell you if there is some reconciliation problem, or this program will tell you if there is any reconciliation issues in the current data which you want to transport to the new system. So why this will give you the information? Because it will give you the chance to settle down all the reconciliation issues before coming to simple finance. Otherwise, what will happen is even though you are using the new system, again you are just migrating the rubbish data. Again you will find the reconciliation issues in this also. But again, it depends. Now, for example, in some of the cases, it will throw errors. For example, let's take an example of uh, CO and FI. So as we said that CO and FI, now there is no separate table. Everything is getting updated in AC.K. So what will happen is if there is a reconciliation problem, it will not allow you at all. But if the problem is with the special ledger, special purpose ledger, in that case, it will throw you the message. It will not give you the error because special purpose ledger is still not integrated with AC.K. So that if there is any reconciliation issue, that can be carried out in the new system also. You are getting this point?
Yes, Gaurav.
Hello. Yes. So again, after performing each and every activity, you can see the status, whether this has been completed or this is in process, this has been performed or not. Any questions here in the technical check? So this is still the check. This is actually the data is still not moved. Okay, and understand one thing here, that although we are performing many activities like analyzing the transactional data, reconciling the transactional data, but this is from the system per se. If there is problem with the business itself, the wrong entry has been posted, it should not have been posted. This has to be checked with the auditors. I think this we have already discussed when we started off the session, that during the migration, in the preparation phase, you need to make sure that whatever balances you are going to migrate to simple finance, this is the right time to check with auditors everything, that whatever is appearing in my balance sheet and profit and loss, that is complete, correct, and it is also correct from the legal point of view. Because whatever checks are being performed, this will be from the table level. Okay, BSEG is matching with my FAGL flex or not, or maybe BKPF is matching with my BSEG or not. This type of checks are performed here. It doesn't mean that it will perform the business checks. Although I think most of us are aware, we are already SAP consultants, so that is not expected out of us to find out the business issues. But this only will tell you if there is changes in the, if there are some reconciliation activities or reconciliation differences between the table levels.
So, at what point is this exactly performed? So after the add-on and after migration of the master data? Or...
Yes, see, this is, we are still at the activity which is pre-migration of data. So the migration of transactional data is yet not performed. Before that, this is the activity which will check the data which we are going to migrate from the old system, whether it is complete and correct in the old system at first place. Right. So for example, in my BSEG and in my FAGL Flexa, let's say there is a difference, then it will show you the error that because this is not matching, what should be considered.
Okay, so this is um, after installation of add-ons and before doing
Yes, yes,
anything.
yes. Whatever activities we are doing in migration, that all activities are after the installation of, because we are already in the phase of migration now. So installation was the second phase. Then there was a customizing phase, which we have seen here, all the customizing activities. And now we are at the migration phase where we are actually
Okay.
transferring the data from the old system to the new system.
Okay, so even after doing all the customizing for the new system.
Yes.
Okay.
Guru, as you said, that the data should be reconciled and tallied and confirmed by auditor. Why it is necessary that the auditor should confirm,
No,
approve it? It is
see,
not necessary.
yes, Jamil,
We
I'm
are
not
just,
saying it is necessary because from the system point of view, you will not find any error. The thing
yes.
is, see, I don't know how many of you will agree to my statement. When we go for the implementation, at that time, we realize there that there are a lot of financial accounting related issues in that company.
Yes.
Maybe they were using the old system and now they take this opportunity to uh, clear all this data and to make sure that whatever data is migrated in the new system, that is
Should be
completely in
neat and
parallel with the legal requirements.
okay.
Right, and that is the reason why it is always, even if I go for the normal SAP FICO implementations also, I find that there are a lot of errors which are actually related to the legal reporting. So they take this opportunity to rectify these errors, and this is also suggested. Why I'm putting this point is, this is if you go for this AC100 training also, they have given a lot of focus on this point, because they said that okay, from the system per se there are a lot of activities which will be checked, but it doesn't mean that you are legally correct. If you want to be legally correct, this is the right time. You should ask your auditors to verify all the results, and only the results which are correct, then only you should go ahead with the data migration. Because once you are already in SAP again, then it will be again become difficult to rectify all the issues which are from the legal point of view. I'm not saying it is necessary. It is just the offline point.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we are making changes to data, it should be certified, because auditor might have certified his reports based on pre-migrated data. Now, if we don't inform, that becomes an audit risk that they can put it in the audit statement that something happened, which we are not aware.
Right. Okay. Next activity is migration, under which enrichment of data. Now, what is this enrichment of data? I think you will get the idea through this document. So, for example, let me take a simple example. Mm, yes, for example, currently, have you do you know what is bseg underscore add? Okay, nobody knows. Let's take
No.
another example. Mm, which example should I take? Filling our profit center fields into. Yes, I think this is a good example. So CO line items, currently whatever CO line items are maintained, they are maintained in controlling, right? Everybody agrees to
Yes.
this. Whenever a controlling document is posted, it is posted to the controlling area, right? It is not posted to the company code. What I mean to say is,
No, it will
Yes.
have company code information, right?
No, it will have the company code information, but again, there are some tables in CO because normally, whenever I post any CO document, it is posted at the controlling area level. Maybe for the information purpose, company code is also available, but not in all the tables. Or can you just give me the example of the table which is actually doesn't contain the company code related data?
I'm not sure. To me, everything should also have company code.
No, see what happens now is because controlling is a separate submodule and financial accounting is a separate module. So whenever we post any document in, let's say, financial accounting, it is always related to the company code. But when the document goes to controlling area, or maybe in the controlling, the top level at which this document is posted is a controlling area level. So if you are using, let's say, cross company code postings, in that case, this document is posted under the controlling area. It may contain or it may not contain the company code related details. But now, because I'm going to move all my CO line items from controlling to FI table AC docket because there is a common table now. So I want each and every controlling table or whatever the details I want from the controlling tables, I want a company code available in each of that table so that the data can be copied from there to AC docket. Right, and that is the whole idea of this point. So I need to make sure that the company code information is available in each and every CO line item. Because when the data will come to AC docket, it should not come without company code. It is not like for this controlling area we posted this document. Got the point? This is just
Yes.
an example. So these are different. For example, this is also filling of BSEC fields from BKPF. So I'm actually not sure which of the fields they are talking about, but some of the fields are also copied from BKPF to BSEC. We need to check this which fields these are actually. But this program will make sure that whatever filling is required from different tables to the main tables. For example, as I told you regarding this, AC docket has to be updated for CO line items and it has to contain the company code data. So this activity will actually perform that task so that when I migrate the data from material ledger, from controlling, from asset accounting, it should come with all the required data at the company code level. The program consists of following steps: filling BSEC fields from BKPF, filling of COEP from COBK, and this one filling of profit center fields into CO line items. These are all, I think these are just the examples. So whatever fields are missing in my new structure, this program will make sure that all that transactional data is copied. But this is again a technical activity. So uh, you don't have to mention which fields to be copied. It will automatically make sure that whatever is available in my old system or old submodule, it will automatically get copied to my AC docket. Got it? Again, the display status to see whether this is finished or this is still pending, and check off migrated documents. This is not actually migrated, this is misguiding. This is to check whether all the documents are enriched correctly. So whatever data was we were assuming to fill from the other tables, have they been filled automatically or not? So it will check these cross fields. It will do the cross checking whether whatever details I was expecting in BSEC from BKPF, they have been completed or not. Similarly, this index the fields from FAGL Flexa has been copied to BSEC underscore additional. This table is actually used for additional ledger. So BSEC underscore ADD stores the data same as BSEC but for the additional ledger. So apart from the 0L, if you have some non-leading ledgers, the data is also stored in this table. CO documents and balances. So this is the check which will make sure that the activity that you performed in the last step has been carried out perfectly, or there are any issues which are found in this activity. Okay, so once this is done, now you are ready with the customer specific fields, you are ready with the cost or maybe cost elements and GL accounts which are already created. Now you are ready with, you already checked whether the documents which are available in ECC are complete and correct, and you have already done the enrichment of data, which means whatever fields are required to be updated in AC docket, they are updated in my current tables or not. Once all these are done, we are ready to migrate the data from your old system to the new system line-wise. So this is the activity of migration of line items into new data structure, which means from the old tables to the AC docket. So the first activity, migrate accounting documents to universal journal entry structure.
Can we carry on the next class? Because too much. Today I'm tired too much. Is it
It is
possible
only
for you?
7:30. Can we do one thing? Can we just, I think it will not take more than maybe more,
No, actually,
almost 20 minutes.
This is very important topic. So that I just want
Yes,
to
yes.
fresh. I want to make me fresh. So that's why.
Okay,
I
not
think
an
we
issue.
should be, yeah, what I suggest, we should be completing migration because yesterday we didn't have a class. And also, anyway, recording is available. Afterwards, whenever a person is free, he can go through recording. If any question, we can ask in next class.
I'm okay with both because see, it will not take, Jamil, it will not take more than 30 minutes from now.
Okay. Okay. Carry on.
Because it is now very straightforward. Like we are already done with the configuration. Now it is part of copying the actual data from the old system to the new system.
Oh,
Yes. So this is the activity which will actually migrate your line items from old tables to new table. So let's go to the documentation of this. So you migrate the accounting documents. Let me see if anything is important. Yes. See, it will also make sure that the characteristics of account-based COPA are also added to UJE. So it takes the data from all the tables. It is not only from BSIC. It will take the data from controlling tables also. It will take the data from material ledger. If it is activated, it will take the data from account-based COPA, because when AC docket transactions will be updated, it will contain all different data from all different submodules from asset accounting also. Okay. So this activity will make sure that all the data has been copied from the old system.
Okay,
Then the
quick
next
question
activity,
here.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, Harish.
when in case of material ledger, normally separate document post, right? In the simple finance, it is in essay docker itself, all data is captured.
Yes, yes, yes. Material ledger is also consolidated with the simple finance. So there is no separate document for material ledger.
Okay, in case of
There is
account-based scope
nothing.
also, yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. We have seen already
yeah,
account-based COPA, if you remember.
yeah,
Yes.
understood. But the costing-based scope, there was separate document.
Costing-based COPA will run as it is. It was as it was
Yeah,
running earlier. Even material ledger, why it is not part of training and it is not part of course. The reason is the material ledger, whatever configuration, whatever things were done, they will be done as it is. There is no change. Only thing is, apart from updating the old table, it will now update EasyDocket directly.
okay.
Yes. So display status of document migration to universal journal. This will tell you whether it has been finished or it is under process, and this may take up to depending upon the transactions volume. This may take more than 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. It all depends on the volume of data. So this has to be performed in background, and you can carry on. You should not carry on any parallel activities when this program is running. This migrate accounting document program. And then this is the check which will actually tell you whether all the documents which are available in my old system have been migrated successfully to Universal Journal or not. And as of my experience, this will not give you any error because all the errors were already identified during this technical check. So if there is any reconciliation activity, if there is any in the analyze of transactional data, if there are some errors, if you solve that errors there itself, you will not find any issues in these 3 transactions. Okay, so this is just the check whether to make sure that all the documents available in my old system have been migrated to Universal Journal Entry or not. And this is display. Again, it will show you whether the check has been performed successfully or it is still running. Then the allocations. Allocations means you know that today you can make the GL allocations at which you normally run at the period ends. So that is again some allocations which you have already defined. If you want to migrate them to the new system also, because at the month end, suppose you want to perform these allocations, so they have to be in place, and that is the reason why you need to activate or you need to execute this program, which will make sure that the allocation settings which are maintained in the old system, they will be migrated to the new system. Let's go through the document.
Only assessment and distribution cycles in new GL, configuration is migrated or what exactly?
No, the cycles. Normally you
Cycle.
create this, yes,
Hmm.
allocation cycles. See, in this activity you change existing GL allocation cycles for actual values to new general ledger tables. More specifically, all GL allocation cycles that refer to flex GL sum table flex T are changed to refer to view new view AC doc T.
That means allocated cycle data is converted into AC doc T.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So run the program as a test run with extended check and have the log displayed. Analyze the message, resolve any errors if you're finding. Once any problems have been resolved, run the program again. That is okay. Check the log. This is like you will not find any issues in this transactions also, because it is just the migration of the allocations that you have maintained in your old system. This is not going to throw any error, because I don't think there will be much of allocation cycles and the transactions which will be carried out. And if it is carried out also, this will make sure that they are all transported to the new system. Only main errors you will find in this once this cost element customizing, in which you will find a lot of GL accounts. It all depends. In my current system, yes, in my first implementation, there were a lot of GL accounts which were created, but there were no primary cost elements. So there were a lot of errors. Lot of means there were thousands of GLs in which the primary cost element was not created. And if we continue to go ahead with the migration of data, it would consider as a secondary cost element. So we need to create these cost elements first, and then only we can go ahead with the go ahead with the migration. Apart from this, whatever, once you perform this technical check, and if you're not getting any error, you will not find any issues in the rest of the activities, because it will make sure that all the data has been copied. And this is all SQL based. You don't need to do anything manual here. Okay, so in this way, you will find that your table has been updated with your AC docket table has been updated with the values. So till this point, there were no values in AC docket, but once you run this line item extraction migration from the old system, you will find all the values, all the line items from the old system have been migrated to AC docket. And this is a base time where you can take the decision, okay, this much number of line items are there, so whether we should go for partitioning in the production system or not. Okay, now you will ask me a question. Why migration of balances? We already discussed that the balances will not be required anymore. There is no totals. Then why we need the balances? Right? Everybody has this question.
Yes.
What do you think? Why this migration of balance is required?
The reconciliation account balances, right?
No, this is balances. This is totals. Like FAGL flex T normally holds the total. But as we agreed that in the new system there is no FAGL flex T, no indexing tables, no totals tables, then why we need to store the balances? We agreed that balances will be generated on the fly from the table directly, right?
Yeah.
Is it because of backup tables?
No.
No, actually, it's like a general ledger account, like open items, all the vendor open items, like a cash. Do we need to have, right, balances,
No,
all
no,
the
no.
balance sheet?
So balance sheet is okay, but the balances for that are not required. Okay, let me tell you what exactly this is used for. Migration of balances means, for example, let's say you are using SAP ECC from last 10 years, okay, and then from last 5 years, or the data which is older than 5 years, you have already archived that data and you don't want to bring that data again in the new system. Okay, so what will happen now is, because you had some data in the old system and the data has been archived, but the totals are available for data archived items also, right? Normally this is the case. My totals always contains my opening balances, current debit credit, and my closing balance. And this opening balances of last 5 years also needs to be considered. You got this point or not?
Yeah, got it. How we can decide that, okay, these many, okay, whatever archive data is there should be
Yes.
taken as a, yeah, to
Yeah,
be
what
taken as
system
a
will do
balance.
is, system will, based on the line items which are copied in ECDOC, system will arrive at the calculation, the sum of all the totals, and it will compare this total with the total which was available in my old system. For example, let's say the total of 1 GL today is, in my old system is, let's say 1 lakh, 100,000, okay? And when I migrated the data to the new system, because the this 100,000 contains 40,000 balances which are already archived. So the lines which will be available will be only for 60,000, right?
Yes.
And this 60,000 amount line items have been migrated. So what system will do is, it will compare the balances of the old system, which is 100,000, minus the balances which are the line items which are already migrated. It is 60,000. So 100,000 minus 60,000 is the balance for 40,000. So system will post this entry in the, or it will store this 40,000 in a table which will hold the totals of the archive data. And that is the reason why this program has to be carried out, which will calculate the difference between the two, and it will store the data in one of the table.
Okay, that 40,000 difference I understand. Okay, how it, suppose that 40,000 belongs to 2 years or 3 years or 4 years.
That is not concerned. Now, why system will concern whether it is 2 years or 4 years. If it is archived, it is archived.
Mm-hmm.
Right, now because the data, if the data is not available in my ECC, how system will copy that data? It will not be able to do so. If it is not able to do so, the balances will not match, because in my old system the balance will show you 100,000, while I have copied the items only of 60,000. So the balance has to be stored somewhere, so that when I run any balance report, it should include this 40,000 also.
Okay.
Let me check if some example is given here. No. No worries. I'll share this. I have the PPT for this. Okay, let me see if I have it now. Otherwise, in that you will find this example. So it is only for that differences, the delta differences, which is my current system balances minus my line item balances. So that will be posted into in one of the table. It will be stored in one of the table, and whenever I'll generate any totals, it will generate the totals from that table plus the totals which are available in my ACDoc. Got the point?
Okay.
Yes. So these activities are again same. You can display the status of the migration of balances. You can check whether all the balances has been migrated or not, and you can monitor whether the check has been performed or not. So this is actually one activity. These are just the logs which will tell you, okay, this is completed or not, whether it is completed correctly or not. This will just tell you that. And you need to perform this in sequence. Here, if it is showing you error, this means there is some difference. So for example, let me, there are 8 warning messages. Let's go to log. There is a log available here. Yes, you will find all these errors here. Got it? So what it is saying is, this is my client, this is my year, this is my table, company code, non-GL entries for ACDOC. We need to understand this. What is this? Because there's a test system, you will find a lot of such errors. But normally in the production system, you will find the straight forward errors. Okay. Then complete migration, in which you will say, okay, my migration is completed. But before that, for asset accounting, you need to calculate initial depreciation values. Why this is needed is, till the time you will not activate or you don't execute this function, system will not show you the planned values in AW01N. The planned values will only come once you run this program. Why? Because the new asset accounting is now active and the depreciation calculation program has some changes, based on which you need to calculate the depreciation once again so that the planned values should be updated. So once you run this program, the planned values will be available in AW0N. Although it is not available in this system, still I'm facing that issues. But after running this program, you will find the planned values which are available in your ECC that will come in the new system also. Okay, this is not relevant to us. This is something again reason. What is this? Once again reconcile the total values of the depreciation values. This is actually not required. We are not running this program in any of the client. Once you do this, this means your asset accounting planned values have been copied to the new system. And this means now you have already transferred all your data, including FI, CO, AA, because when you migrated these line items, it has migrated each and everything, all different submodules within financial accounting. And then once you are done this means now your asset accounting is also up and running. You should be able to run the depreciation postings, asset transactions, everything once this calculation of initial depreciation values have been performed. And this should be done before the first depreciation run. And it is always suggested to be part of migration activity. Don't wait till the time till the first depreciation run. And then this is the activity which is offline. You can reconcile the old balances which you have taken the snapshots in the preparation phase from the old system, and you can generate the reports from the new system to reconcile whether each and everything has been matching or are there any differences. So this is offline activity, and once this is done, you are comfortable, yes, everything has been perfectly migrated, then you are ready to set this migration to completed. And this can be done only once, because the data migration, it is saying this has already been completed on this date. So you cannot perform this activity again and again. This has to be done once. So this is the fourth phase of the migration. So first we understood the preparation phase, then we have done the installation phase, third was the customizing phase, fourth is the migration of actual data phase, and fifth is activities after migration. So there are some activities that have to be performed after migration. Okay, and there are not much of activities. First is transfer application indexes. This means you can perform the data aging for the backup tables which were created in the installation phase. I think this we have discussed when we talked about the activities which needs to be done after migration. So normally what you do is in the installation phase, the tables which are going to be removed, the backup is created for that table so that if anything goes wrong, we should have the backup of that tables. So that is the reason why we have created the backup, but now this backup is no more required. We are not deleting it, but we can perform the aging so that this data can be moved to the cold storage. Again, seeing the status and then fill due dates. As I told you that in current system, at my table level, I don't have any column for storing the due dates of the AR and AP items. Right? If I want to calculate due dates, run this functional module which will calculate the due date, and it can be stored in the system. But at the table level, I don't have any field which holds the due date of the particular item. But now, when I run this program, automatically in AC.K for all AR and AP items, the due dates will be displayed based on the payment terms which are defined in the transactions. Any
That
question
means
here?
that
Yes.
means in SADoc field table itself, we have a due date field. You mean that?
Yes, I think
Okay.
we have checked this already.
Because normally through functional module, we used to calculate what is the
Yes,
due
yes.
date on the basis
Normally, if we
of
want to calculate
yeah.
the due date, we need to rely on the functional module. Mm, okay, let me see. Where exactly this is stored. It has to be in this one layer. I think we checked also last time. Due date. This is all related to depreciation asset accounting. See, one is this offsetting account. So next activity that we are going to do here, if you can see, fill the offsetting account in FI document. So this offsetting account will also, as you know, till now we were using this BTEs, business transaction events, to fill the offsetting account. But now this is also automatic. And I hope you remember the configuration where we maintained like what should be the offsetting account, whether it should be the uh, if it is mentioned correct. Just a minute, I'll come to that. Before that, where is due date? Yeah, I remember we had done this check earlier. Mhm. This is technical date. I think this field name is technical, or it will take this also. Mm,
The functional name it is. Yeah.
Notice it is taking this also, na? So it should be there.
Or
Yeah.
just type
Due
date.
date. There will be a lot of dates.
Yeah, we can.
Posting date, document date, all these dates are there. Let's try to
Maybe you can go
understand
to
this.
any document and display. No, if you go
Yes,
to
yes, documents
any
it will definitely come, but
document
I
level,
want to see where
no,
exactly.
no, you can
Yes.
see the field, right? You can see the field, then we can come out in here, you can check
Okay.
that field, you can
Yes,
able
yes,
to
we
see.
can. Yes, yes, I got your point. It is correct. We can go to any document, ARNEP document. Let's see, KR company code. Mm,
Baseline date, right?
sorry,
Baseline date.
Baseline
baseline
date is
data
not
was
there.
available earlier also. It was ZBDT. It was also
Yeah,
available earlier.
based on the baseline date only, our function model will calculate, right? Payment term on baseline, the baseline
Yes, that
date.
is okay, but I want to see where this is stored. Here also it is not showing. Maybe after running this only it will come. Okay, let's try. This is also performed. So, okay, let's try the delta run for the new documents. Mhm. Okay, let me check this. I'll check this where exactly this is maintained, but it is stored in the table. Earlier till now, this was not stored in the table. We need to write a functional module through which it was only coming. But now you can use this field to generate all your reports also. And the last activity, as I told you, is offsetting account, filling of offsetting account, which was earlier available under BTE. We need to use the BTE to make sure that this offsetting account is updated in FBL 1N, 3N, and 5N line level reports. But now, based on the configuration, I hope you remember the configuration where we maintain.
Sorry, Gaurav. Okay,
Yes, Vishnu.
the recording due date, right? Okay, now
Mhm.
currently we are means based on the function model we are calling and we are displaying, right? Once we
Yes.
migrate once we migrated the simple finance, right? So
Mhm.
our custom table, everything, how it will derive the due date, because our logic is building the based on the function model. So we need to change any our custom programs because
No, 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 no.
no?
See, already in my current system, I have a baseline rate and I have a payment term, based
Yes,
on which I am currently using a functional module if I want to generate any ad hoc report, right?
yes,
But in
yeah.
my standard reports, for example, today also, I think when we run the FBL 1N report, I get the due date there also, right? But that is
Mm.
also the functional module is used there. That is the reason
Yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
get.
Mm.
But if I want to generate my own report, ad hoc report, writing the query, there is no field available in any of the table which will give me the due
Tables.
date,
Yes.
right? But now what will happen is, now this due date field will also be available in
In
my,
HCI. HCI.
yes, I think, okay. Let me try if it is directly available in the view and maybe it is calculated on the fly. So let's try SC16N and this IK. Maybe Q. No, not here also. Okay, let me check this offline. I'll come back to you on this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, question with respect to offsetting account. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
normally in a said okay, only offsetting account number comes. Do we get even account name as well?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, okay,
Yes, for that again you have to rely on BT.
okay. Because sometimes looking at the report, just number comes, and if you don't know what is the description of the account, yeah, then it is.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, this is only I think filling of offsetting account description. We can check, but I don't think it is available. Okay, so this activity will populate the offsetting account in my line item reports. So we are seeing that this field is available in AC.K. So once the migration is completed, everything is completed, then only after migration activities, these two activities are important. Actually, there are 4 activities. So first is transfer of indexes like index tables to the hold area. Second is filling the due dates of FI documents. Third is filling the offsetting account in the FI documents. And fourth is migrate of house bank accounts. So as you know that currently my house bank accounts are managed in my configuration, right? They are not maintained. They are maintained in FI12. But now going forward, because this cash management has come into the picture, which has changed some of the settings which are used for the bank accounting, which we are going to see the overview of cash management in our next session. So you will realize that there are some changes which are related to the bank accounting. And this is the activity that you need to perform so that the old house bank that you have created in the system has to be moved to the new structure. So what this activity will do is whatever house banks are created, it will move these house banks from the old tables where it is maintained currently to the new screens. So now FI12 will not be used anymore, rather it will be FI12 underscore HBank to create this house bank. And normally we are not going to create account IDs, house banks directly in the system, rather we can use directly SAP the uh, what we call it SAP Fiori or maybe online apps to create these banks, and we can maintain the hierarchies also. So I'll show you in the next session that how this cash management has been changed and how the bank account management has also been changed, which is integrated with cash management now. So these are the activities that we need to carry out in our after migration activity. So after migration, there are only 4 steps. If we count that, there are only 4 steps that we need to perform. So this completes our migration process. Now I think we need to work on asset accounting because we are left. Again, I tried asset accounting. Depreciation now I am able to post. I tried to post the depreciation, it was working. I don't know who had made some changes. Let me show you the document also if you are available now. Otherwise, not a problem. We'll meet next time and we'll discuss asset accounting and the remaining topics like SAP Fiori and 2 overview sessions for cash management and integrated business planning.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's meet on next Saturday, and I hope that will be the last weekend for our course. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Gaurav.
Bye. Thank you.